Tense moments for students on Menlo. Why students are saying they feel increasingly unsafe in the area.
Students for Justice in Palestine organized a study-in on campus. Find out why it got shut down.
I'm Terrence Holton, and later in the show I'll tell you why a major shopping day is costly to the environment.
Annenberg TV News is next.
The man accused of breaking into a house on Menlo Avenue is now being held in a care facility. Hi, I'm Dana Hammerstrom.
And I'm Gaby Medina. We checked in with one of the students who lives in the house and who was there when the break-in happened. The students saw the man on the Ring camera video outside their Menlo Avenue home early Tuesday morning. They say it was the same man they spotted roaming around their house several times before. The next time they saw him, he was inside the home. That left them frightened.
My other roommate also spotted him, and that's when they started frantically panicking, yelling, running, telling me we gotta go. We barricaded ourselves in our other roommate's room. We locked ourselves in there. Luckily, my other roommate was smart enough to grab her phone, so she called 911 immediately.
There are dozens of homes in this area around USC where students live. One house manager for sorority houses says students often do not feel safe.
My girls aren't feeling safe, and they feel safer here. We have senior houses where a lot of girls live together, just like the house where the break-in happened. And they're doing a lot of things, to help themselves at these locations, but it's alarming.
According to the USC Department of Public Safety, more than half of the most common crimes around campus are motor vehicle thefts, aggravated assaults are about 10%, burglaries 12%, robberies are more than 5%. Other crimes make up 14%. But DPS says there has been a drop in crimes reported on and around the campus from 2022 to 2023, but there were far fewer incidents reported in 2021. DPS recommends students make sure their doors and windows are locked at all times. They also recommend students to be alert and download the LiveSafe app to quickly make emergency calls to the department or to 911.
Students for Justice in Palestine held a sit-in protest on campus, but the police abruptly shut it down. Around 11 this morning, about 30 students gathered near Taper Hall.
The university would come
say their
by
goal is
and
to
try to use the pretense of event permits to shut down a small group of students talking on the grass is absolutely outrageous. It's oppressive. It's meant to silence speech. We've had students sit outside on the grass on the campus the whole 30 years I've been here. To now suddenly call it a permanent event is the only reason they're doing that is to silence people.
Our demands remain the same: disclose full financial transparency, and defend student activist voices, and especially those who have been penalized for speaking out in support of the Palestinian liberation movement, and defend the South Central community, and of course divest from weapons manufacturers, from the military-industrial complex, and divest from Israeli apartheid regime.
SJP hosted a study session, but police moved in less than 2 hours later to shut down their study-in. Then students began marching down Truesdale Parkway.
Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Once the students exited campus, DPS closed the gates behind them. The group marched back to the Truesdale entrance of campus and set up another sit-in outside of the locked gates. This protest was part of SJP's recognition of the Week of Rage following the one-year anniversary of the Israel-Hamas war.
Tonight, Hurricane Milton is closing in on Florida's Gulf Coast. Millions of people have evacuated. Makayla, what's the latest?
Thanks, Gaby. Hurricane Milton has been downgraded to a Category 3 hurricane, but advisory warnings are still in full effect. We talked to Florida residents who plan to stay put and ride out the storm.
I went to Costco and got Nutella and crackers and told myself that it would be fine. I ended up getting a few dry goods, and everything in the refrigerator I left because who knew if we would lose power. I had enough food, I had a case of water, and I moved my car up in the garage so that I wasn't on the first floor. But other than that, I was really just praying for the best. But I know our school has built all these incredible buildings that should withstand the storm. It's just whether or not we can get power, we can get transportation, and we can get all the resources available in the greater Tampa Bay area.
Residents are experiencing storm surge warnings across the state. Hurricane Milton approached Sarasota at 17 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. According to the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Milton is expected to touch down just south of the Tampa Bay region later tonight. As you can see, it's projected to then move east across Central Florida and emerge off the East Coast.
My friends from St. Pete chose to stay. We won't know if it was a good choice or not until the storm blows through, but we all think it's foolhardy and downright dangerous to stay under these circumstances. You've heard the reports. They don't want to come and rescue anybody. They want you to just get out. So the rescuers don't risk their lives going back in to count bodies, as it were. I wouldn't.
As of 7 p.m. Eastern Time today, there are about 300,000 homes and businesses without power, and an extreme wind warning has been issued for the Tampa Bay area.
The polls are open in Arizona, that is. Early voting in the swing state opened up this morning. Politicians were there to meet voters on both campaigns. Annenberg Media is in Phoenix, where the Harris-Walz campaign held a rally last night.
This is why you gotta let your friends and family know why are you voting for Kamala? Why are you here on a Tuesday night?
That's Doug Emhoff, husband to Vice President Harris. Emhoff hosted 2 events yesterday representing the Harris-Walz ticket. He emphasized that the campaign's commitment to the middle class and small business owners.
It would mean the world. It would mean the world. It would mean that, we would be part of the history in the making. I'm here to support. The letter he sent me when he was in campaign he was so busy and he took time. And those are the kind of leaders that we need in this country, to create that unity and to keep the unity for the future generation.
Emhoff is campaigning tonight in Tucson. And also over in Tucson, reporter Zain Kahn has this week's conversation at J.D. Vance's rally.
We're just outside a speedway in Tucson, Pima County, where we're seeing Republican supporters headed inside to see Senator J.D. Vance. We've spoken to a few voters here for whom the economy and immigration seem to be key issues.
Kamala Harris, she cast the deciding vote on trillions of dollars in new spending, which increased the price of food, of groceries, of housing, and of everything else. Kamala Harris came into office as the border czar, bragging that she was going to undo Donald Trump's border policy. She did exactly that.
Arizona is definitely a battleground state, with former President Trump leading by 2 percentage points at 50%, according to a recent AARP poll, and Vice President Harris trailing behind at 48%.
Tonight, Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz is also hosting his own rally. His message is simple: get out and vote.
Early voting started today. Now, are we going to vote early? Are we going to vote for Kamala Harris? That's right. Because we all know what's on the line.
Kamala Harris is expected to visit Arizona tomorrow on her bus tour. Vance will join former President Trump in North Carolina as part of his tour.
14 attorneys general filed lawsuits this week alleging TikTok is responsible for the increase in depression and suicide rates among children. The lawsuit alleges that the app is designed to keep children scrolling endlessly on the platform. It also objects to the late-night push notifications. More than a dozen states and the District of Columbia have joined the suit. It is being led by the attorneys general of New York and California.
The one thing they might be looking for is to charge some sort of financial penalty. They'll set up some sort of fund for those that are impacted by this, right? So they might use it for the governments of those states to implement an increased mental health resources for children, or to fund their state's kind of online privacy enforcement.
A TikTok spokesperson responded to the lawsuit saying, quote, "We provide robust safeguards, proactively remove suspected underage users, and have voluntarily launched safety features. We asked students what they thought about possible social media restrictions."
I do think they should be held liable for some of the harm they're causing, but I do think some of the responsibility also lies in who's letting them on the platform.
Growing up in the social media age, we've seen the consequences of being raised on social media and like the harm it can have. So I guess just protecting that younger generation that's growing up with TikTok.
I don't think TikTok is liable. I think it really goes into the gray area of like when a company should be liable and like when parents should step in.
The lawsuit includes a requirement that TikTok repay any profits it's received from ads directed at teens or children. The platform is also battling lawmakers trying to ban the Chinese-owned company as early as next year. About 50 Los Angeles residents became U.S. citizens today. They took part in a naturalization ceremony at the Japanese American National Museum in downtown LA. Newly admitted U.S. citizens stood in line to receive their official certificates of citizenship. They took pictures with their families to celebrate their accomplishment. We spoke to a few of them about what becoming a citizen means to them.
I've been living here for 18 years. I went to school here, came here on a student visa, and then got married, and now finally today is the day. It's really exciting. I wanted to become a citizen before the election so I can vote.
I feel happy. I feel more confident. I feel kind of like liberated. I feel like a proud citizen.
Just recently applied, but I've been in the States for over 10 years now. I'm excited to vote. It's going to matter.
Many brought friends and family to share in the excitement of receiving their citizenship. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says almost 900,000 people became U.S. citizens last year.
Just ahead, we'll show you why UC workers picketed and rallied outside UCLA Reagan Medical Center.
It may be hard to pass up Amazon Prime Day deals this week, but at what cost is this day to the environment?
And today, South Koreans are observing Hangul Day. Stay tuned to find out how this day is being celebrated right here on campus.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all. Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
Radio and podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with Chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet and Chia Tree are available at Kmart, Rite Aid, Ames, and Woolworth. Makes a great gift.
University of California service and patient care workers rallied today outside UCLA Reagan Medical Center. The rally was part of several union actions planned all over the state at UC campuses. Over 50 workers picketed with signs and demanded higher wages and housing support. They chanted, quote, "UC greed has got to go." The protesters were joined by the California Nurses Association.
We continue to ask for access to fair housing and access to good wages and access to safe staffing. And the university continues to fail to meet our demands, so that's what drove us all to be out here today. I drive 100 miles round trip every single day to get to the University of California because, I can't afford to stay where I work. We're asking for a slice of the pie and access to that housing funds that they already make available for their top paid staff. And together, all of us are fighting for a stronger middle class and fighting for more equitable treatment.
The University of California says it offered a wage increase of up to 21% over a 3-year contract in August, as well as additional sick leave and other benefits. The union says wages have not increased at the same rate as the price of housing in California. In a statement on its website, the University of California said it wants to maintain a positive outlook in their relationship with the union and contract negotiations. They also hope a mutually beneficial contract agreement will soon be reached.
Now we'll send it to Terrence Holton, who is live in the Village talking about the harms of Amazon's Prime Day. Terrence?
Well, guys, today is Prime Day, and while students are keen to use Prime Day to get the majority of their university essentials, some of those deals should not be as tantalizing as they are. Amazon and other shipping corporations profit greatly from Prime Day, however, are harmful to the environment with the amount of packaging and shipping costs. Prime Day is especially bad with boosted deliveries. We spoke with USC Professor of Environmental Science Douglas Becker about the harm Prime Day and large shipping corporations can cause.
Amazon's kind of famous for shipping things in packaging that is just way, way too large for what you're purchasing. Actually, what makes those big box companies attractive to consumers tends to not necessarily be just the price, but it's the price in connection with the quantity.
Prime Day profits for Amazon are said to be around $14.2 billion from the over 180 million Prime members. While Prime Day is enticing for students, those who are buying should really think twice about the stock that they're buying. Now we'll send it over to Makayla Idelburg with today's forecast. Makayla?
Thanks, Terrence. I see you're out there in that weather I'm going to be talking about in just a moment. Welcome to Weather with Mac. I'm your host, Makayla Idelburg. Let's bring it to today's forecast. As you can see, we have nice clear skies with a high of 72 degrees. It's a little cooler than last week, but we're working with it. We also have a 66% humidity. Let's see if that continues for the 5-day forecast. Follow me. As you can see, we have a nice clear sky trend for the week like I predicted. I'm just kidding, I didn't predict that, but we have a nice clear skies. We have a high of 75 on Thursday and a low of 60, and that trend continues with lower high 70s for the rest of the week, but then on Sunday and Monday, we're bumping it up a little bit warmer with highs in the lower 80s and then lows in the low 60s. With Monday again, high of 86 and a low of 64. I think that's pretty nice, and honestly, I'm trying to see what I'm going to do with my day. Am I going to go swimming, play volleyball, play baseball? Maybe I'll get a grand slam? I don't know. Ben, what's up with sports?
Will Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers be watching the championship series from their couches yet again? A Trojan football rematch 8 years in the making makes roars into rivalry this Saturday. And women's volleyball keeps flying through its Big Ten schedule, next on ATVN.
Bonjour, je suis le grand musique.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking, and no, these children aren't French, they're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method. The entire course, 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, the activity book, and the parent's guide and answer book is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German.
To order, use your credit card and call this number. We'll ship and charge you $28.08 a month for 6 months. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call 1-800-424-0700.
Okay, this stuff is really amazing. I mean, I put it in my mouth and I taste watermelon, but it's not just that. I taste strawberry too, but it's kind of like a watermelon-y strawberry put together. Hey, hang on. Sorry about that. And the bubbles are really awesome. I mean, that's why they call it Max, I guess. Obviously, that sort of makes sense once you think about it. Oh, I'm Dan, and that's Chuck. Hubba Max. A whole new kind of bubble. Hey!
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Riley Sager.
And I'm Ben Cohen. Riley, I hear there's going to be a big brand on campus this weekend. And I'm not just talking about the Trojans.
That's right, Ben. Football giant Penn State is coming to the Coliseum on Saturday, and the Nittany Lions are the first rivals on our new segment, The Battle of the Brands. Undefeated 5-0 Penn State is no doubt a good football team. They've got experienced players who know how to move and defend the ball, but as for legacy, there's no competition. The Trojans have produced more #1 NFL draft picks than any other school in the country. Compared to Penn State's 2 total top picks, USC takes the cake. Especially with joining the Big Ten Conference, the program will only continue to grow. This week, USC wins Battle of the Brands. However, there's going to be an even bigger battle at the Coliseum this Saturday. Quarterback Miller Moss discussed what Penn State brings to the table.
They're a really good team, really experienced, 7 returning starters. Obviously really talented edge guys, really talented back end, experienced linebacking crew, and really good defense as a whole.
5-0 Penn State is currently the 8th best defensive team in the nation, allowing just over 11 points per game. It's going to be a battle of Troy for sure.
USC women's soccer beat old and new rivals to keep its undefeated conference streak alive and creep up to number 19 in this week's coaches poll. The Trojans defeated Wisconsin and Oregon by a combined score of 5-0 and have only conceded twice in Big Ten play this season, both in a disappointing second half against Minnesota. But for my main story on Battle of the Brands, how about women's volleyball, which shot up 5 spots to number 16 in the coaches' rankings this week? USC had better luck on the court than on the gridiron in 2 new Midwest matchups. Volleyball came back from down 2 sets to beat Michigan on Friday, then knocked off 12th-ranked Minnesota on Saturday at Galen Center. Senior setter Mia Tuaninga spoke to the team's goals for the rest of the season.
I think as a team, obviously, we're trying to shoot for the natty. Yeah. And volleyball-wise, obviously, get that natty. But culture-wise, how can we keep cultivating a space for every single one of us to be ourselves?
The Big Ten is proving to be a juggernaut across multiple sports, but especially on the court, where the Trojans rank 16th in the country, but only 7th in their own conference. USC will look to leapfrog Oregon in Eugene tonight. Over to the Diamond, where Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres have the Dodgers on the brink of elimination, and LA fans on the brink of chaos. Mookie Betts stole the lead in the first with a home run for the Dodgers last night, but the Padres took over in the second. A defensive error by LA shortstop Miguel Rojas and a double down the right field line by San Diego's David Peralta gave the Padres a 4-1 lead. Then Tatis hit a towering home run, which was ultimately enough for the Padres to win 6-5. The Mets finished off the Phillies in 4 games today to advance to the NL Championship Series, and it's all about the Mets, baby. Philadelphia took the lead in the 4th inning thanks to a Bryce Harper RBI double, but Francisco Lindor hit a grand slam in the 6th to send Citi Field into jubilation and the Mets to SoCal. But where in SoCal will it be?
The Tigers can advance to the American League Championship with a win over the Guardians tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Royals and Yankees are currently tied 2-2 in Game 3 with the series knotted up 1-1.
So we're not sure what the AL matchup will be yet, but the Mets will be going, as I said, to SoCal, either to LA or to San Diego. That might get decided tonight, or it might get decided in 2 days if the Dodgers can extend the series. What do you think's happening tonight?
It's not looking great for the Dodgers. Right now, it's win or go home. They have to win tonight if they want to advance, but the Dodgers just announced Freddie Freeman, first baseman, scratched from the lineup. They said earlier he was going to be available, but with that ankle injury, he's no longer playing, so I have to go with Padres. As much as I don't want to, it's not looking great for the Dodgers.
All the odds are stacked against the Dodgers tonight. It's a bullpen game for them, starting reliever Ryan Brazier, who, to be fair, is a great reliever, but a reliever, whereas the Padres are starting Dylan Cease, their ace. Freddie Freeman, as you said, is injured. And that's why the Dodgers are going to win against all odds. Shohei Ohtani, that MVP, he can win a game on his own. Mookie Betts broke his duct. He's got a home run in the first inning last game after Jurickson Profar robbed him the game before. This is the time for the Dodgers to extend it. And then they're back in LA, and who knows? I could see that one going either way. But I'm going to definitely pick the Dodgers tonight, and probably the Dodgers to advance to play the Mets, and then lose to the Mets after that.
Well, I'd love to go to a Dodgers game on Sunday, but we'll see how tonight unfolds.
Well, that's it for us on sports today. For perhaps the final time for the 2024 Dodgers, I'm Ben Cohen.
And I'm Riley Sager. What's next, Dana?
Well, hopefully what's next for me is the Giants making it to the World Series, but we are very, very far from that. Instead, we'll be talking about the Korean alphabet and celebrating Hangul Day. Stay tuned.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latine voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
Radio and Podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo, we have it all.
Dímelo, we have it all.
Want quality name brand carpet for less?
Call Empire and you can get quality carpet at the lowest price guaranteed. And no payments for 1 year.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I've replaced your shoelaces with fruit by the foot.
So you did. I replaced your fingers with fruit by the foot.
Bravo. I've replaced your bones with fruit by the foot.
Indeed you have. I replaced your guitar strings with fruit by the foot.
Seems like a step backwards, but alright. I've replaced your DNA with fruit by the foot. That would be end game, my friend.
Fruit by the foot. Fruit-flavored snack.
The USC Korean language program celebrated Hangul today. It's an annual festival commemorating the creation of the Korean alphabet. Students gathered at the On Family House to make buttons, play traditional games, and compete in Korean handwriting contests. The USC Korean language program held this event to spread diversity and cultural awareness on campus.
There's been a huge wave of Korean culture, Korean popularity, and so we're showing people that there is beauty within the language itself.
Here at the Dornsive East Asian Center, to me, that day is a day where we celebrate diversity.
The holiday is also observed in North and South Korea. A Korean king made the alphabet to promote literacy for everyone.
Growing up, my mom always told me it was culturally significant because it was a way that Koreans finally got their own alphabet and could distinguish themselves and take pride in some kind of national thing.
And I think it's important that we remember someone thought of creating a writing system that never existed before.
Professional Korean calligrapher Ji-young Park wrote the first 150 attendees' names as a souvenir. Dana?
Well, speaking of the Korean alphabet, I would like to share that we got ATVN translated into the Korean alphabet earlier today, but I would also like to share my favorite 4 letters that have to do with Korea, KBBQ.
Oh my goodness. Well, to be honest, I haven't had, proper KBBQ ever, so maybe we got to do that together.
Maybe we should do a little ATVN KBBQ field trip. I feel like we're always talking about food and field trips on this show.
Add it to the list. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Gaby Medina.
And I'm Dana Hammerstrom. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.